Very well. Continue, Counsel. Man of logic.
See, I think you're gonna have to get Queen Bee.
The thing is, at this point, where do we go? Because, like, I think that this works, kind of, but, like, anything else doesn't really match up. Like, the tea that this guy's mentioning, it doesn't mean anything.
Other than his wife put salt in his tea.
I think we're right. We're right about the fact that Shamspear was trying to deceive Mr. Gyaradev, but I'm not sure how we get to that point.
He also, again, may have been trying to kill Mr.
Maybe I'm missing something with the salt. I don't know, that seems off. Did that have a third page? No. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I can't think of anything else, and logically speaking, the only thing that there's only 3 lines of dialogue, so there's only so many combinations. And if we're missing something, it probably has to do with pressing, which I think would be silly if we were supposed to press after getting the initial. Okay, so it's not that. This is... Okay. I think we do have to press somebody else. I'll try this, though, because this is the only thing I can think of. I do not think it's going to be these two.
Objection.
Okay. I'll try it just in case, but know that it is my least like the one that I expect to be at the least. They are not! Okay, so you do need to keep pressing. That's lovely. Alright. What do we think will have something? Let me just go through.
Probably him.
Hold it!
You know what? Let's do that. We could also... What was the first person... Who was the first person that we, pressed? Was it the old man? I feel like it was the old man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because remember, after we did the old man, immediately Susato was like, hey, you might need to press people and look at other people's reactions. I think when we pressed her, he reacted. So maybe pressing her again? Because we didn't get to the end of her dialogue? Yeah, we heard all this. Oh god. can't remember what line specifically. Okay, I think that was it. Okay, well. I concur, though if my learned friend wishes to become an expert in gas, I believe the subject will suit him well. Because he's full of hot air. To your new career in nothingness. Oh, that's fucking worse. You will turn your attention to the next juror's assertion, please, Counsel? No, I will not. What do we do? I'm gonna press the first guy again, and if it's not this, I fucking have no clue, because we've basically done everything.
Hold it!
Okay, so he's saying that... What? Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, this is new. Just leave our nationality out of this, please. Mr. Naruto, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before may very well change them back. What can I do? Is there any more proof I can give here? I think there is. Baby, I fucking going out on a limb here. I have supporting testimony.
Supporting testimony because what's his face said his thing went out.
Yeah, I don't think I have evidence.
You don't have evidence, but you have testimony.
I have testimony. I just don't know for sure. There is witness testimony that substantiates it. What's that testimony? This is incredible! Whose testimony? That's a good question. So it's either gonna be Mr. Garadeb or Soseki, because he specifically was the one that was like, even on that night in question, I could feel the gas. You know, the like gas leak, what he interpreted as the ghost. But I think Garadeb is the one that we have to do here. Well, Mr. Foreman? No! God, I actually fucking... Wow, I feel like that should have been it.
If it's not, it's that guy.
This guy? Oh god, what did he say? Oh fuck, yeah, you might be right. Oh my god, his name is Adrone B. Adrone B. I'll do him, because I think that makes more sense, actually. No, really?
It is Mr. Natsu.
Yeah, that's weird, because usually they don't let you, I mean, I guess, obviously the Great Ace Attorney games are their own thing, but they usually don't let you, have the defendant testify. Alright, I'll try Natsume, but if this is wrong, I don't know what to do.
Take that!
Okay, it was Natsume. Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume himself. The defendant? At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Natsume said the following. My lodging, there's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Samsby's room, I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. Oh shit, I think I know what happened then. He probably had unbricked the wall so the gas wouldn't leak in his room.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to kill Natsume, right? And then the worker, because he had been peeking in, put the bricks back. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, was that a mere coincidence or not? Good golly! So that Shakespeare fellow blew air into the gas pipe to make the man's stove go out on purpose? Now hold your horses there. What would we do that for? Mr. Foreman? What is it, man? We cannot allow judgment to be passed whilst this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet. However, me and my mouse, and you, must surely agree there's more to this case than meets the eye. Just like the Transformers.
I want that treasure. That's what I want.
Yeah. The thing about this game is, ironically enough, I feel like the earlier games were better about this, even though their cases are shorter, because they've stretched mysteries across the entire game. Mm-hmm. And the mysteries in this are a lot, like, they're case by case, rather than across, whole cases. Except for the first game with cases 3 and 5. I mean, I guess there's also the mystery of, I guess...
Who killed...
Kasumi? No, God.
Yeah.
Kazuma, yeah. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic, first and foremost. I did not think he would be the one that would change his mind. That's 4 jurors leaning towards not guilty, my lord. We've overturned the decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue. No. As the defense has rightfully...
I ran out of glasses to throw.
I am out of my drinky drinks. As the defense has rightfully indicated, the summation examination has concluded with a majority of jurors altering their decisions. 2 jury members now call guilty. 4 now call not guilty. Therefore, the jury's opinion is conflicted, and in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. Mr. William Shakespeare? My lord, how can I humble Shakespeare, Sophie? What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination? So God amend me, I do solemnly swear I recall aught of either the lamp or the pipe. But your handprints have made a tidy mess all over the wall there. How do you explain that, eh? My baby! I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5. Who, me? As I went to some pains to point out already, a print from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in a British court of law. Ugh. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains at this time unestablished conjecture. You would all do well to remember that. Hold the fuck up. But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shakespeare's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there. I don't wanna. What appears to be extremely simple is my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were acquired. Yes. Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have been spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible. I didn't think of that.
In any case, Counsel, I fail to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you describe. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipe work where he lived?
There's only one possibility that I can think of, and that is, he's a dick.
Order! Order! Counsel, precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end?
The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamsphere wanted to end the life of, and I think this is Natsume. It could also be Garrett, but I think he had more of a reason to kill Natsume.
Take that!
And I mean, Garrett has windows.
Yeah, that too, I guess. If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing. I live around these parts myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lit is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time. Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. Can you? Yeah, no. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shamsphere was trying to end.
Could have also been the landlord, I guess, but whatever.
I'm talking, of course, about the defendant.
Oh.
Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. You are!
Good gracious.
Objection!
The accused is actually the aggrieved. Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, you're a bitch. And that the accused is the aggressor here. What? How can you still claim that? Let us indulge your fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison on the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that then arises is who put it there? Who did put it there? The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill.
Yes, that would indeed seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison?
So now we must ask, how could anyone have known of Mr. Shamspeare's murderous designs? You mean to suggest... Naturally, the sole purpose and possible answer to that question couldn't be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known. That's not how that works, but okay. In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was a clearly retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Whatever Mr. William Shamsphere may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could possibly have perpetrated that particular attack is the accused, Mr. Natsume.
Actually, a lot of people could have, so...
Yeah. There's several people that had access to his pipes. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for the poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Would you not agree, my Nipponese friend? Shit! Blech!
Well, now, this is a pickle.
I want my money.
I want my money too, but I'm poor.
How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly? Mr. Naruto, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. No, Susato, it'd be way more damaging if I just said red. What does that even mean? What? You can't just leave me on red. That concept doesn't even exist. Phones don't even exist yet. You fucking Neanderthal.
So wait, that proves you're a time traveler. And it is, in a sense...
Everybody in the prosecution's a time traveler.
In a sense, you are not legally obligated to be a defense lawyer because your papers haven't been made yet. Am I right?
Can time travelers... No, wait, shit. No, stop. Stop. Can time travelers become lawyers?
No one fucking knows.
Time travel technology with lawyers makes sense as we can go to people's past and see the truth. Oh my god. Wait, what? Advantage? What advantage? Well, it would seem that nobody put poison in the gas pipe in Mr. Shamspeare's room, so we must name that person... Wait. Oh, yeah, someone did put poison on there. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt. You mean, name the true culprit? Shit, I think it's gotta be the worker, right?
Mm-hmm.
As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence. The poison. I don't know, man. Because I think it could be a couple of different things. I think it could be Mr. Garadeb, because he obviously has ways to get into there. It could be the worker, who wants to protect their gas as much as possible and is getting frustrated that he's not catching them.
It could just be himself.
Here's the fucked up thing. It could also be Olive, because she had access to the poison. Is what my immediate thought would be, just looking at everybody we've got.
That's right.
Yeah. And she may have some reason to believe that he was involved with Duncan Ross. So... Oh god. The prosecution calls for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. What? Don't you worry. We know exactly what... Shut up. It's my turn to talk. Yeah. There's one other person who I believe could have been involved in all of this. The true culprit of this crime.
The true culprit?
A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate great detectives and his friend. But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already. I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax. I want you to make me climax. I mean, thank you. I heard that. Tell us, my learned Nipponese friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime? Okay. I think it... Oh, God.
I think it's him, because I don't think it's Mr. Garrett. Or...
Mr. Garadeb seems the least likely, but I think more evidence points to her is the thing. He seems more likely to be the one to do it, though.
Take that!
The worker. Fucking doofus. Highly suspicious, I would say. Nah?
No.
Okay. Shit.
Well, try her. Well, the only thing is that she's been in the hospital.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, how she connects to the case, even. What did the letter say? Do we still have the letter? No, we don't. I don't know, man. If it's Olive, I don't know how you're supposed to, like, reasonably get to that and make that conclusion on your own, because, like, the only reason that I think that it's Olive is because we haven't used that scrap of the letter yet. And it was directly related to Olive. And that's it. That's the only reason I'm thinking she might have something to do with it. Nobody else even comes close.
Take that!
So she was out committing a crime.
I don't fucking know. Miss Olive Green.
Miss Olive Green? Miss Olive Green. I feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Counsel, but I don't recall where.
Miss Olive Green, the woman from 6 days ago. The victim in the recent case of stabbing on Briar Road. An incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add.
Oh, of course, yes, I remember now. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe. But I hear she regained consciousness 2 days ago.
And I hardly need to remind the court that Mr. Shamspeare's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi. Yeah, I'm fucking just as lost as you are, dude. The night the incident occurred, Mr. Green was in the hospital unconscious, so on the face of it, it would seem she couldn't possibly be responsible. But still, my colleagues and I had visited Miss Green in hospital, which I think it's in hosp or in the hospital. In hospice? Hospice. And we found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison.
Good gracious, she had poison?
And there is another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court.
Tell me, Mr. Shamspeare. My lord, pray what be thy bidding? Are you acquainted with Miss Green? No, never heard of her.
Judging by the look on Mr. Shamspeare's face, I think perhaps he genuinely doesn't know her. At least, not by name. As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my learned Nipponese friend's farce through to its conclusion. I appreciate that. The prosecution reminds you that I'm being a dick, and you don't need to thank me for being a dick. It kind of takes the wind out of my sails. Anyway, the prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here.
Yes, Miss Olive Green.
Indeed, my lord. 1 hour should be sufficient.
Very well, then. I grant for your request.
Excellent. I hope.
The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say. But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We will reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned. It's just enough time to take a sip of my delicious pink lemonade that hasn't been invented yet.
That's not pink lemonade, that's the poison!
It's goo!
No, actually, it's just Pepto-Bismol.
hold on. I have to know. Yes! I was right! Okay, so the joke is that Pepto-Bismol actually is in fact older than Pink Lemonade. However, neither would have been around by the point of this game's setting. Pepto-Bismol was invented in, I think it said 1901, and Pink Lemonade was, it's credited to have been invented by Henry E. Olliott, a Chicago man who, as a teenager, ran away to join the circus, accidentally dropped some red cinnamon candies into a big batch of regular lemonade, turning the beverage pink. The history of, like, American foods is actually really fascinating to me because, like, as a country, we don't really have a set culture because we just don't have... We are not old enough yet to be, unique. It's kind of a culmination of the melting pot of all the different people that moved to live here. But, like, the stuff that has been invented specifically in America is very uniquely American. It's hard to explain why. Alright, I think this is a good stopping point. I do want to keep going, but I'm also really fucking hot, and we've been going for nearly 4 hours. Alright, so thank you all for joining us for Side by Side Plays. I'm Shikuquaza.
I'm waifu.
And we'll see just what Olive Green was up to next time on Side by Side Plays.